Hi. Today I wanted to talk about using maturity maps as a diagnostic tool. So often within my work, I'm brought into organizations where there's some sort of dysfunction in a part of their work that they want me to help address and to improve. And last time we talked a bit about root cause analysis and cause effect diagrams. And I think these are very useful tools, but it's sort of like the wrong context for these situations because there's not some root event that occurred that we can use as a base. It's more so just generally, here's a part of our organization that just doesn't seem to be working well. In these contexts, what I want to try to answer and figure out is, can I use a maturity map to help me understand that context a bit better? Because maps do a good job at communicating complicated situations, at integrating lots of different pieces of information, and I think should be able to provide some clarity. But for a while, I wasn't really being able to understand how do we connect these two together. And then I remembered something coming from Kanban, which they call the Kanban lens. So even before COVID, Kanban's got a big focus on services. With Kanban, teams are services, and even individuals can be services. The Kanban lens itself is a list of sort of 4 ways of seeing work. The first one is that see work as flow. Secondly, it's see not workflow as a sequence of knowledge discovery steps. Third is to see knowledge work as a service. And lastly, number 4 is to see organizations as a network of services. So this really, I think, applies well with maturity maps. So if we were to map one out real quickly, we can see that work starts off at the bottom of the value chain and sort of flows up towards the top until it meets a user need. Work travels through each one of these steps, where each step adds a bit of value to the work on the path towards meeting those user needs. And each of these nodes is actually a service as well, because they provide value to the node directly above them in the value chain. With the orgs as structures, you can think about how an organization may have multiple customers and multiple customer needs that they meet. So they'll have many examples or many variations of this sort of value chain. And teams and individuals as services can actually provide multiple services across an organization. So when we want to use a maturity map when starting an improvement effort and understanding the dysfunctions in an organization, we can start the conversation on our users and our user needs to understand what the goal might be and what we're trying to achieve. We could start then to map out the services in that value chain. And we want to map the services along the evolution axis in terms of how well do they meet the needs of the node above them. So not necessarily how well you might be doing development over here, but more so, how well do you really meet the need of the node above you? And this way, we can start to map out where the dysfunctions are coming from. We can also add to our map, what are the constraints? Where's the inertia? what components are missing. This would be, again, other services or practices. And what's the structure? So once we understand what the value chain of services are, what the value chain of practices, we could then start to highlight where is the sort of structure of individuals or teams across this, and where might communication and information flow be lagging or not healthy. It's a new idea I'm still playing around with. I think there's something there, and I hope this was useful. Thanks a lot. Have a good day.